Okay, in this video I'm going to show you a little something we did with charging a beer with nitrogen just to enhance the mouthfeel and the creaminess. What we did is fill up from that tap there. That's a Southern Tier Mokah, sort of a nice beer to have a nice mouthfeel on, and threw it into the Miller Home Draft keg and shook it up a little bit and sort of let a little bit of the CO2 out, and brought it home from my friend's house who had the keg, and I kept on shaking it and loosening the top to get some of the CO2 out. Now the reason I did this was because what I read is that if you have a beer with like the full 2.5 volumes of CO2 in it or whatever it is, and you try to put it on nitrogen, when you serve it, it'll just really foam up a lot. So I thought, well, we'll get a little bit of the CO2 out anyway. So what I do is keep on loosening it slowly, and then finally, like now, when it's completely done, I'll shake it up a little bit more, and then open the top again, sort of slowly, and let some of that CO2 out. And I don't know exactly how much CO2 got left out. Probably not, or got let out. Probably not too much, but try not to lose too much beer. But you just let it sit there a little while, and then when you open it up, it foams out, or at least gases out. So here's the nitrous oxide cartridges, and I've got one already in the left screwed in. And this is just to sort of show you that what I've done earlier. I forgot to film that. But anyway, I've been pressing on that button there. This is the forced carbonation sort of button that's on the Tapadraft. You can do that on Miller Home Draft as well. It's just you have to look at my other video to see how to do it. You got to drill a hole and stuff. Sort of a pain. And then you'd have to have the little adapter to fit the 8-gram cartridge in. But basically, what I did is just push on the little force carb button there, get some nitrous oxide into the beer, or onto the beer, because it's just bubbling through, and shake it. So I did that a bunch of times, and now this is later, and I've cooled it down, and I've been shaking it and adding nitrous, and so now both of these nitrous oxide cartridges are spent, and I've basically gotten 16 grams of nitrous oxide into this beer. I don't know if that's the right amount or not, but that's what I got in. I'm preparing this for an event that the guy that I got the beer from is he and I are both going to show up over there. So anyway, the blue one is another nitrous oxide cartridge. And then the silver one here is just a CO2 cartridge. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because in the Tapadraft instructions they say this is the way you're supposed to do it. They say put in one CO2 and one nitrous oxide. So anyway, that's what I decided to just go over there. Neither one of those cartridges are screwed in right now. They're not charging the beer at all. They're just sitting there. And I figured I'd pour a couple beers off of it. I haven't tried it up to this point. I haven't tried pouring beer off it yet. I've just gotten the nitrous, 16 grams of nitrous on it. So I get it into this little, wrestle it into this little carrier here. It's a little insulated carrier, and I take it over to the event. Now I intended actually to film some pours over at the event, but I forgot the video in the car and I never got out there. So after the event here, this is probably 4 or 5 hours later at least, we can pull it out. We can see that we've done a pretty good damage here, taking it out of the insulated carrier. And people did enjoy the beer at the event, by the way, and it was pouring very nicely. We had a lot of the Guinness look to the bubbles, and also people were loving the mouthfeel on it. So I needed to put it back in the fridge though to chill it back down, because it had been a while. So it's been in the fridge now for I don't know, quite a while, many hours, and I'm going to show you the sort of the wrong way to pour it. You know, the typical way is you tilt the glass and you put it on the front side of the glass, and this is what people were doing at the event, and this is the kind of foam they were getting. You know, it's like pretty much, you know, too much foam. I'm trying to show you a little bit of the sort of the cascading effect. This is not a good, actually not a good pour for that, but and it's also not a good video for that. So here's like about, I don't know, a half an hour later, and the right way to pour, which is basically you hold the glass vertical and you let it pour against the side of the glass that's toward you. And this works really good for the tapper draft, not quite as good for the Miller Home draft, but it does work. And you can see that, you know, this is basically the same situation as we had before, but it's very, you know, controlled amount of foam. Even, you know, somebody might say not even enough, but I'll show you in a second here. If you just crack the tap open a little bit, it will foam up. I literally could foam that whole glass up in probably a half a second. I just did it for less than a half a second, and it got like, you know, an inch, you know, 3/4 of an inch of foam on it. So that is nitrous charged mocha from Southern Tier. Wonderful little mouthfeel there for it, and that's what I did. So there you have it. Hope you like it.